YouTube. This is Vulcan. I'm Zach, and today I'm talking. Well, tonight I am talking to you about what we do at Vulcan. Well, uh, here what we do in Vulcan is not just review. We do reviews, reactions, and comic book news and movie news. Now, this is also a we also do short films or what we also nerds call fan films. Now, this this is going to be the majority of what Vulcan does is fan films. Now, I am now writing 3 scripts myself. First one, it's a fan film. The other one is an independent film. And I also got another fan film that's coming up that I'm saving money for. And the first fan film, me and my partner that I went to high school with, we landed on a big opportunity, and we're taking this we're really blessed. And we also have another friend involved on board that can put some input into the DC any DC or Marvel lore. Um, I am a huge. Right now we have Before I get ahead of myself, I right now Vulcan has only 3 members. Um, it used to be really big, and that's when we were starting, and then it shrunk size. It started with me and my little brother, and then we all departed our own ways, and I'm still headstrong for this. This is like Walt Disney says, if you dream it, it will happen. And I'm taking the bull by the horns. I'm doing this. And so this is my dream, this is my goal since I was a little kid, so I'm going to be doing it. So these videos we also have a YouTube channel. This is our YouTube channel. Yeah, I know that well, right now our studio is, we started off really small, and eventually we will get really big to where we can have our own studio and office, a big office and studio. And right now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I am using my cell phone camera for this, and it works just fine. And now about myself, I am, as I've been saying in my two other videos, I am Zach. I'm a huge superhero nerd. And I picked that word strongly. I'm not just a DC fan. I'm not just a Marvel fan. I'm a superhero fan. I got my favorite DC heroes. I got my favorite Marvel heroes. I even have my favorite Marvel Knight heroes. And I also have my underground comic books that I also like The Crow. And I really love superheroes. I know them. I've been around them since I was a little boy. I know the ins and out. And my most favorite one is Batman. This is the order: is Batman, Superman, Iron Man, Wolverine, and then it's I just had it. Nightwing, Red Hood, and the Crow. Now, the reason why Batman is number one is because when I was a little kid, my mom was single. Before my mom married my stepdad, she she was a single mother, and I didn't have a dad. And yeah, I had my mom to teach me from right and wrong, and my aunt and my uncle and my grandmother. But like any other kid, they need that father. So when Batman the Animated Series came out, I actually got hooked with Batman. He taught me from right and wrong. He told me to stand up. Pretty much that series, the whole entire series had lessons to be taught throughout the series. Stand up for myself, face my fears. Don't don't fight for evil, fight for good, that kind of thing. So I really enjoy my comic books. I have my favorite comic books. As a matter of fact, I can pull them out to you right now. I got my favorite comic books right here. The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller. I'm still wanting to collect all the part 2 and part 3. The Death of Superman. Now this one is kind of funny how I got this. I went to a comic book store, wanted to get the Death of Superman and the Resurrection of Superman. The guy cheated me out and got me this one. So, and also got me a book saying that this is what I ordered when it wasn't. And this one's very special to me. Frank Miller's Wolverine. Still in its package. The comic book guy gave this to me. Those are my 3 favorite comic books. I love Wolverine comic books. I love Superman comic books. I love mostly Batman comic books. I also love the Crow comic book. The first Crow comic book. Um, and and if people will, I actually, speaking of the Crow, I actually get in arguments with people with the Crow, because if you've seen the movie with Brandon Lee was a guitar player, was a guitar player in a band, but with his Eric Draven and the comic book Eric Draven was not in a band. No, him and Shelley were coming from a beach. The car broke down, and he got killed. She got raped and killed on the side of the road, and he ended up coming back for vengeance, killing everybody. And he also has a sword, and he ends up, just like in the movie, he ends up taking every item from the person, so on and so forth, to get to the top of the food chain. But they kind of Easter egg the sword when he says, "You're all going to die," and then when he stabs the sword through the table to scare Shank, and he ends up running out, and that's the only time you see the sword. So he ever uses the sword, but he has the sword in the comic book. There's a good picture, look it up. And I'm also a fan of fantasy, Lord of the Rings, Conan the Barbarian, DDR, DNR, D&D, and medieval stuff. And I'm really a fan of that. And my also 2 other comic books which I forgot to mention is 300, Watchmen, and V for Vendetta, and From Hell. Now, that's what we do. Is we make short films. Again, we make short films. We we just don't talk about movies, trailers, comic books, whatnot, and we actually do fan films and so on and so forth. And this is what we do. And sorry that this video wasn't first. I had a lot of, again, with the Supergirl season 1 review and reaction, that I had to come first because I was kind of raging into it, and I was also staying away from what was going on. So yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go, because it's actually time for that time for me to go. I gotta work on this a script. And alright, you guys have a safe night. Don't do anything I would do, and remember, nerds are always the ones on top of the food chain. Peace, love.